Hello, welcome to Astronautics for Exploit. This is Dr. Ayoshola Ogundele. Mars Biodomes, ecosystems designed to support humans in a Martian habitat. The focus points of my presentation are as follows. Biodomes, Mars Biodomes, conversion of Mars into a biodome, and Mars Biodome proposals. Mars, a cold desert world, presents a hostile environment for humans. In a bid to make Red Planet more habitable, to live and work for future human explorers, an artificial creation of a sustainable ecosystem on a lifeless planet, referred to as Ecopoiesis, is being proposed to support life on Mars. The concept involves initiation of Mars terraforming using physical, chemical, and biological means, including the introduction of ecosystem building pioneer organisms. Mars Ecopoiesis testbed is being proposed to be placed on Mars' surface to test activities of pioneer organisms selected based on research conducted on the Earth. The concept involves careful release of chosen Earth organisms, such as cyanobacteria, to sense the presence or absence of a metabolic product. The findings will then be relayed to the Mars orbiting relay satellite for onward transmission to the Earth for analysis. Mars Biodomes, scientific facilities with capability to create replica of hospitable ecosystems in a Mars-controlled environment, are receiving high attention from the Mars research communities, space enthusiasts, investors, government and private space companies. Different models of Mars biodomes that could hold oxygen and food for humans are being proposed. Examples are Mars Science City, Biosphere 2, Mars on Earth, Experimental Bioregenerative Station, Mars-like Habitat, and Eden Project. Mars Science City, a Mars simulation city, is a proposed campus for outer space simulation being planned to be located outside Dubai. According to the design, the city will be formed using interconnected domes covering about 7.5 hectares of desert, where conditions on the planet Mars are recreated. Biodomes. A biodome is a scientific facility for the creation of a replica of an ecosystem in a controlled environment indoors. Usually, biodome structures are designed inside geodesic spheres because they create large amounts of room, which can be useful in creating a credible replica of a real ecosystem. The picture here shows Ecodome home biodome with partial double glazing and SIPS. Examples of the most famous biodomes is the Monterey Biodome, which was built in 1992, and the Biosphere 2 project in Arizona. Eden Project, built in 2001 and a great example of a biodome, houses the largest biodome greenhouse in the world. Its geodesics copy three biomes with different climates, such as the tropical, Mediterranean, and temperature. The picture here shows Monterey Biodome. Biodomes are being used for research and science education and experimentation. Biodomes can be built anywhere in the world, including in dense urban areas, and their interiors can be precisely controlled. Several biodomes include climate zones which visitors can travel through. Research facilities such as labs are often attached directly to the facility to make scientific study easier. Water biodome cluster is shown in this picture. Mars biodomes. Mars biodome, a structure that could hold oxygen and food needed by humans, is being proposed for Mars. An example of activity in support of this cause was a program to develop bacteria that could convert the Martian regolith or ice into oxygen. Illustration of Mars biodome is shown in this picture. Research findings show that lichen and bacteria could survive in simulated Martian conditions, including air composition, pressure, and solar radiation spectrum. Also, research shows that the Earth organisms survive for over 30 days under Mars conditions, and it was noted that they seem to be performing photosynthesis under those conditions. The picture here shows Martian biodomes, conversion of Mars into a biodome. In order to convert the entirety of Mars into a biodome directly, scientists proposed the use of cyanobacteria crocodiopsis. This will help to convert the regolith into soil by creating an organic element. A 2016 study showed that cryptoendolithic fungi survived for 18 months in simulated Mars conditions. The picture here shows a biodome city, an ecological ideological city where population is housed beneath the Mars surface in a crater for protection. Mars biodome proposals. There are various proposals for Mars biodome, and some of them are Mars Science City, Biosphere 2, Mars on Earth, Mars-like habitat, experimental bioregenerative station, and Eden project. Each of them is analyzed as follows. Mars Science City. Presently, the government of the United Arab Emirates is developing the Mars 2117 project. The objective of the project is to build the first stable human settlement on the red planet within a time frame of 100 years. Mars Science City is a project under Mars 2117 program. Mars Science City is a campus for outer space simulation which is going to be located outside Dubai, formed by interconnected domes covering 7.5 hectares of desert, where conditions of the planet Mars are recreated. Illustration of Mars Science City is shown in this picture. Proposed Mars Biodome. The Mars Science City, a project by Big in the UAE, is a proposed Mars Biodome model for the simulation of the human occupation of the Martian landscape with a 1.9 million square meter biodome, making it the largest space simulation city ever built. Function of Mars Science City is to enable researchers to test building and living strategies under specific levels of Martian heat and radiation. The picture here shows an illustration of Mars Science City concept. Biosphere 2. Biosphere 2 was a conceptual and engineering model built to study natural environments under a sealed bubble as if in outer space. Biosphere 2 was designed to be an airtight replica of the Earth's environment, sealed top to bottom with either glass or stainless steel. The objective was to study different ecosystems and understand the interplay between water, storm, soil, and 3,800 plants. The picture here shows Biosphere 2's living quarters and library. Mars colony simulation. Biosphere 2 was a highly ambitious experiment to simulate a self-sustaining Mars colony in the Arizona desert. Biosphere 2 was a facility used for proof of concept for a permanent, self-sustaining habitat on Mars. 4 men and 4 women sealed themselves inside the air-tight space in September 1991 and emerged 2 years later. They experienced one incredible challenge after another. The picture here shows Biosphere 2, a scientific research facility. Mars on Earth. Mars on Earth is a project aimed at creating an environmentally engineered habitat that could support humans in a Martian habitat. It was built as a laboratory to learn how to create a sustainable biospheric life support base for Mars while allowing for its research and engineering to be completed here on Earth. The habitat consists of a pod of different chambers, livability, food, and exploration that are airlocked together. Each pod is designed to be operated and manned by 4 persons. Mars Tesla Research Station, which has other red planet analogs, is displayed in this picture. The Mars on Earth facility is designed to function as a research and development center for a manned mission to Mars. The closed life support systems will provide the necessary testbed for developing ecological space-based systems for water and wastewater recycling, food production, and air purification. The facility will provide the opportunity to test remote mining and geological survey protocols and robotics to simulate a Mars mission. Also, it is being designed as a prototype habitat to select and train future Mars explorers. The picture here shows Martian home away from home Mars Desert Research Station. Experimental Regenerative Station (eBIOS). Interstellar Lab designed eBIOS, the first autonomous and bioregenerative terrestrial village that will help to create a sustainable future on Earth and beyond. The aerospace company develops and builds closed-loop villages with regenerative life support technology and creates harmonious environment for humans to live on Earth, Moon, or Mars. Space-inspired village eBars reimagine sustainable living on Earth and Mars is shown in this picture. Mars-like habitat is another Mars Biodomes concept. Mars-like habitat in NASA-backed space psychology research was a 2017 Hawaii space exploration analog and simulation mission. During the simulation, the crew of 4 men and 2 women did not leave the dome unless they were in full space suits on bi-weekly exploratory missions, during which they conducted geological surveys and mapping studies. All their communication with the outside world had a 20-minute delay, the time it takes for a signal to reach Earth from the Mars. Illustration of a Mars habitat is shown in this picture. Eden Project. Eden Project is one of the projects for Mars Biodomes. The Eden Project is a large-scale biospheric project based in Cornwall, Southwest United Kingdom. It comprises of a system of huge biomes and sustains plants in its natural environment. Domes of a similar design could be used on an established Mars colony to create large greenhouses to grow food and provide a source of comfort to colonists. However, greenhouses from Mars will include about 98% of the structural strength necessary to maintain an internal gas pressure of 1 half a standard atmospheric against a vacuum. Illustration of Eden Project is shown in this picture. For more information, contact Astronautics for Exploits. You've been watching and listening to Mars Biodomes, ecosystems designed to support humans in a Martian habitat, presented by Dr. Ayanshola Ogundele of Astronautics for Exploit, with the focus points Biodomes, Mars Biodomes, conversion of Mars into a biodome, and Mars Biodome proposals. Thank you.